Thank you for keeping up with me so far and for staying on for this the third part of this video, the most exciting part of the video, I think. I'll let you be the judge, of course. The new picture of the mind, my simplified theory of how everything relates to everything. This is where it all comes together, and I show you how that cool image that I've been working in my mind for a while now can make everything really gel together for us. But first, we have to sort of put everything into perspective and understand why this matters and where it all came from in our attempt to unify our mind and picture the human mind. I heard this from one of my master mentors, Bob Proctor. Magic is the opposite of life. When you understand how magic works, the magic disappears. When you understand how life works, the magic begins. So that's what I've been doing and sharing all along, trying to understand life, to unravel the magic within. Science, medicine, theology, spiritual teachings, they all share common roots, philosophies and teachings, but people still insist on separating them and using one to denounce the other. I find that crazy. It's all different ways and points of access into the amazing human conscious mind, and eventually into the divine mind. Let's accept that. All we know clearly shows that everything is energy at the quantum level, light energy, at different levels of vibration, organized and expressed in different forms that we perceive as physical objects, feelings, emotions, thoughts, and visions. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it just changes form. That is, it constantly transforms. Order is critical for creation and predictability of function, and order can only come from intent, not chaotic accidents. Even chaos itself is part of order if you understand the laws of the universe, and specifically the law of dichotomy, as I label it. I'll explain this law in a later video. Back to the universe. We all know that our universe is expanding. Even though we don't know its boundaries and all its content, it is immensely gigantic. But this is what we know so far, and it's specific. Scientists have divided the universe as 73% dark energy, which we actually don't understand yet. So that's 73% right here. 23% is dark matter. That's the energy of gravity, holding everything together. And 4% are the stars, made up of helium and hydrogen. Like our sun, and actually compared to the bigger stars like Arcturus and the giant Antares, our great sun is one of the tiniest stars that scientists have detected. Out of billions of stars in our galaxy, then of course there are billions of far, far away galaxies with their own giant stars. If you do the math on this, we have 100% of the universe made up of these forms of energy. Wait a minute. What about me? Don't I even count? Well, relatively speaking, no. You and I and all of us don't even spark a decimal number in the great wilderness of the universe. All organized matter, including all known planets and what's in them, makes up 0.03% of the universe. So our Earth, as part of that sum, wouldn't count for much, let alone us as physical human beings. This is not taking into account antimatter, black holes, and the possibility of other universes beyond these breakpoints of everything as we understand it. Why is all this so interesting, and how is it relevant to our discussion? I'll tell you why. You see, I find this knowledge and all other scientific knowledge very amusing, learning about how small we are relative to the world and the universe and what's beyond. But what is truly amazing is the fact that we are having this conversation. The magnificent fact that we have the conscious awareness and ability as humans to imagine, visualize, analyze, scientifically prove and document all this, then talk about it and make sense of it in complex and simple language is nothing short of a miracle. How can such insignificant physical entities like humans make such progress and conclusions? Can an ant ever realize that the red surface it is walking on for days is a Ferrari? That's a very good book, by the way. No, it cannot and will not. So how come humans can do the impossible? The answer is obviously because of conscious awareness. The conscious mind is an activity of the soul or spirit, which is much closer to the infinite source of everything at a much higher frequency of vibration. It just manifests lower frequency results through physical form expressed as human bodies and all other observed material objects in existence. We are spiritual entities that use consciousness and express through physical form and bring into physical form that which we intend to perceive and observe. By the will of the Creator, we create our reality because we have the unique power of choice to sub-create by transforming energy forms through our intent to reorganize them. Science is humans' way to explain how reality works, and I love it. Spirituality is observing and allowing reality to work through us. And we need to make the two grow in unity to truly someday achieve that singularity of why is reality even necessary and what is the point of our existence or transformation anyway. In the meantime, our journey of figuring out our purpose leads the scientist and the theologian to the same ultimate point, infinity. As one of our most brilliant scientists of this generation, Professor Michio Kaku, says, and I quote, "In the real world, there is no such thing as infinity, but all our complex formulas, including Einstein's formulas, eventually lead to this point, the breakpoint of physics and mathematics. This is an infinite nightmare when we hit infinite infinities in our equations." Unquote. Another prominent physicist, Dr. Andrew Strominger at Harvard, says, "Singularity is the point when we don't know what to do." So is all this clearer or more confusing now? Can we accept that we are small, yet our spirits are really big? Our remarkable science is building in layers over thousands of years, yet we admit we cannot explain everything? Can we accept that we are limited in our unlimited existence by our current level of awareness at any one point in time? Is all that just mind-blowing or mind-expanding maybe? This is why I decided to draw a picture of the mind, to simplify and explain to my daughter, my friends, and myself how all possibilities can interact without shutting any of them out and taking extreme sides. Keep in mind that without an image, we have no reference point. We think in images. But what is the image of the mind that I just asked you to keep its image in? Did you think of your brain when I said mind? Does the brain contain the mind any more than a river contains water? If flowing water creates a river channel and a river, does the flow of mind activity create the brain then? The mind is an activity. It is not the brain. It manifests through our whole physical body and our total awareness of the physical reality around us. This is not a philosophy, anatomy, or psychology lesson. I'm just trying to come to a simple conclusion that we can all understand and work with as a reference point from now on when we talk about making up my mind, change your mindset, focus your mind, the conscious mind, be mindfully aware, and all similar phrases. The best way I could explain the mind is using something we all are familiar with these days, and it was impossible actually to discuss this just a few decades ago. The connectivity of the user and the device through the energetic network of the cloud. Let me show you something. This is my iPhone. It's a device. I didn't invent it and I don't know how to make one, but I have a good understanding of how it works, how it interacts with everything around it, what it's made out of, and most importantly, how to use it and why I want it. The device list is endless these days, including computers, laptops, smartphones, tablets, iPads, watches, cameras, and much more that are all connected through the cloud and made for the user for different benefits. You have to realize and accept that the device cannot work by itself. It was made by and designed by organized intent. It is connected and managed by software and intelligence. And its only meaning is the user giving it function by logging in, connecting, downloading, uploading, and creating data through the endless channels available to be used with this device. Everything is transferred and transformed as light units, ones and zeros in the digital world. These are just high charge, low charge gates, basically transistors and conductors, gating the passage of photons of light within the device and within the electromagnetic radio waves that carry these photons at the speed of light through the universe and back to be absorbed and transformed by another device. This is an extremely simplified version of how technology works these days, making calls, sending emails, creating digital images, 3D holograms, video conferencing across the globe, and much more. We have learned the art of taming light and the speed of light to transfer and transform our information in real time, seemingly no time at all. At the human perception level, when we Skype somebody or call somebody, you feel that you are present in the same time space with them, no matter where they are in the world today. It is our real time because it is the speed of light that we are using to transfer and communicate our thoughts, images, and words. We've become ubiquitous and omnipresent through our higher awareness and technology. We are available to everyone at the same time. Our collective wisdom is stored in the cloud for access now and into the future by anyone who is searching for answers. Just type in the right question and find the right site in the massive and ever-expanding cloud, and the information is yours to use as you please. Good, bad, or indifferent, the results of all this interaction depends on the user's intent, not the device, not the science, and not the energy of how it all works, and not what's in the cloud actually. All that stuff just is. It's exactly the same at any moment in time. The result always relies on the user experience and the user intent. Let me put all this into an image form, and then we'll use that image form as an analogy for my new picture of the mind. So let's draw that. Okay, back to the device. Let's draw the image of the device and its interaction with the user. If this is our device, the iPhone in this situation, as we had just shown, it is a physical entity. I know at the quantum level it's all units of light, energy making up this physical device that we're holding and using, but for simplicity, we're just keeping it as a physical hard device. The only reason it can actually work, though, is because it's encapsulated in this intelligence, which this part of it is called the automatic intelligence, the subconscious intelligence. The subconscious. What this is the automatic software functions built into the device to make it work. So you turn it on, this is the sequence of what happens. These are the lights that come on, this is the connections that it starts to make, the Wi-Fi starts to connect, starts to download your email if you set it to do that, it starts to do whatever automatic functions that have been set at the factory or by you as the user and all these things. The device has no choice at this moment to do anything else but this. Otherwise, it actually is not considered alive, actually. It's not considered on. But they're automatic, okay? Even the user at this stage does not have to think about them. They just happen. Of course, we can set them and reset them, but they just happen, like I said. Then, of course, the bigger circle. By the way, these are not circles, these are spheres, because everything in the human perception, actually as it is in the universe, is organized into spheres. You know, our sun, the planets, the stars, everything that is organized is a sphere. Even if you take water into space and just leave it there, it organizes itself into a perfect sphere. And you break that into multiple parts of water, they all reorganize into spheres again. So this is a sphere, not a circle. What's this bigger sphere here? It's the cloud. This is not automatic. This is intentional higher intelligence. This is knowledge. This is all the apps, the data, the emails, the phone calls, the communications, the books that we write, anything that we put out there as human beings and somebody else can download or can communicate with, that's all stored in the cloud. And believe me, it's all stored out there somewhere. Basically, this gives us the use for the device. This gives us the ability to use the device. This gives us what use are we going to get out of it. And of course, who decides to interact with all this is the user, which is, in this situation with my iPhone, it's me. I am the user. The user sits outside of all this. They're not inside these spheres. They're the ones who create these spheres, and for whom, of course, the spheres are created by default. So we all contribute every time we upload or download something, or we communicate, or create new software or new ideas. We're adding to that cloud, to that intelligence, to that conscious intelligence. How does it all communicate? I'm not going to go into the laser science and all that stuff. I love lasers and I love light as much as I love my medical field, and that's why I combine them together in all my teachings. I'm trying to make it simple here, not complex. In general, the device connects with the cloud and backwards via radio waves, which are electromagnetic waves traveling at the speed of light. So Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular networks, they're all forms of radio waves that transmit and download. Again, very simplified, but the point of it is, from a user's perspective, this is what I want to understand. How does all this work? And now, how does this all relate to the picture of the human mind? For me, I'll describe this to you in an acronym. Because laser is an acronym, light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So to me, mind is also an acronym. I describe it as meaningful, intent, to network with MIN, meaningful intent to network with divinity. And divinity, as I define it, is divine infinity. Yes, I am trying to combine theology and science and everything together, because everything is actually part of the other. So, divine infinity. This is the analogy of the human mind. We're making meaning with intent so that we're able to network and expand our existence within the divine infinity of the overall existence around us. So, where is the picture? I'll rub this part off for a second so I can draw a picture of the mind. So, of course, at the center of it is the device. I hope you like my little drawings. The device is the human body. When we think of me, or you think of you, we usually think about our human body, but actually that's not me or you, that's the device that we're using to express. Of course, the device has the automatic sphere of existence, what we call the subconscious mind. The device is made alive, or kept alive, kept functional at a basic level. Just simple, everyday, thoughtless activities. I don't control how my guts are working, or how my hormones are running, or that my blood is flowing and all that. That's just automatic. If it doesn't work, we've got a problem, obviously. That's the subconscious mind, which also includes habits. How do you put your clothes on? How do you brush your teeth? How do you eat? You don't think about that anymore. They're habits. So all this becomes subconscious mind. You don't have to be aware of it, but you can be if you choose to. It's just, focus on your habit. Do I like it? Do I want to change it? You can change your subconscious mind. But by itself, it works automatically. Now, of course, all this exists within a much bigger sphere. And these drawings are not to scale, by the way. This is huge and massive, and I just don't know how big it is. It's just huge. And it's a sphere, remember, it's not a circle. This is the conscious mind. The conscious mind, which is a collective of knowledge and possibilities that we have collected over our whole human existence, that we're working through and working into now, that we're adding to every time we think thoughts or download thoughts. It's not just this is not my conscious mind. This is me with my subconscious mind tapping into the overall existing conscious mind of humanity. When somebody invents something or discovers something, there's almost an automatic progression of other people who can immediately understand that or claim that, oh, they almost discovered it at the same time, and grow on that and change that and transform it into something better and better. Why didn't they or other people know or understand or explain this before that person invented or discovered it? It's very interesting, isn't it? Once somebody uploads thoughts and visions and ideas, other people will connect into that, download them or upload their own versions of it, and everything just grows from there. We are all part of the one activity. The human conscious mind is one activity. Where we plug in, which part do we connect to, which username do we use to connect to which part? How does this connect to that? We have username, we have an email address, we have a phone number, we have an IP address. They're all unique, specific ways for us to use the device to connect into the cloud securely or otherwise and all that stuff. Same thing here. We can choose at any point in time to connect into different parts of the conscious mind or contribute to it or download from it, causing good, causing harm, causing benefit. That's the intent of the user, of course, but the point is we all interact with that at the same time. This is all encapsulated within another much bigger sphere. Excuse my drawings, I'm not really a real artist. I'm a doctor and a bit of a scientist at times. This is the divine mind. Actually, I wouldn't use the word divine. Maybe at this stage it's a bit confusing. This is the very first time I'm showing this diagram, by the way. I'm clarifying it for myself as well as to everybody else. Universal mind. Universal mind is much bigger than the human conscious mind, which allows for the fact that as the universe is expanding, the sphere is expanding, the conscious mind of what human beings are aware of, capable of doing, able to interact with and download and upload is also expanding within that. So our conscious mind is expanding within the universal mind. Where is the user sitting? And what is this expanding into? This is where I bring in that last point I talked about earlier. Theology says God, science says infinity. Whatever it is, there is a point at which we know what we know. We know that there's more that we don't know and we're figuring it out, but we also know that there's a point where we just don't know what to do, the point of singularity. So that's the point of infinity. So beyond universal mind, beyond all possibilities of what we don't even know yet that we don't know, but we're figuring it out, there's a point here which is infinite. And that is the source. And the user, the spirit, the soul, the only place I can place them is somewhere out there. Because the user has to sit out here to be able to realize that there is an expanding universe, even though I don't know everything about it, but it's expanding and it's there. How can I be aware of that if I'm here? I can't be aware of something that's beyond me if I can't stand above it and at least look at it and decide to figure it out over time. So the user has to be out there closer to the point of infinity and trying to make contact with it through an expression of that physical device interacting with the conscious mind within the universal mind. So, user connecting with the device, using the brain, using the body, using our manifested results and activities, and realizing that everything around us is actually a manifestation of what the user perceives through the device can download or can upload. And that's forever changing. You know, whatever we thought was impossible at different parts in human history have become possible. You know, flying, cars, communicating with people all over the globe, like I said before, in no time at all. Right now, I want to call somebody, I'll call them. I want to Skype them and video conference with somebody right across the globe. I'll do it right now. That was impossible. But was it impossible? Or was it possible? Because it is. We know now it is. But we weren't aware of how to manifest it. Basically, the subconscious mind, that sphere, was smaller. The fact that it was possible was always there. The fact that we weren't aware of how to do it, that's where we worked on it, to increase our conscious awareness of how to interact with our universe, use all the electromagnetic energy and the light energy in it, and transform it to our benefit. So I hope that you can see the analogy between these two diagrams here. And actually, if I want to summarize this and say how are these two related, I'll tell you this. Basically, we are creating, as humans, we are recreating the human experience of our existence in a technological, physical device manner. This is the human experience of existence, and this is our communication and interaction experience today as we know it and as we created it. We created this because we're starting to understand this more and more and more. So when I say mind, keep in your mind, I change my mind. Let's make up our minds. Let's focus our minds. It doesn't mean changing what's in here, what's in the brain, because the brain actually doesn't contain any memories, by the way. I'm a doctor, so we did slice brains. We did, I remember it very well actually, we did anatomy classes and we had to dissect human bodies and brains and everything else. And I don't remember ever coming across a piece of memory or a data storage device inside the brain. The brain doesn't store the data. The brain doesn't store the memories or the knowledge. It's all stored out here in the cloud, the conscious mind. The brain is an immensely, amazingly plastic. We use the word neuroplasticity. Basically, it's an extremely adaptable mega CPU processing unit. It's not what it is. It's not a CPU. You get a CPU, you get a processing unit, that's what it is. You want a better one, you've got to get a newer one. The brain isn't like that. The brain is a superb processing, an adaptable processing unit. So you can connect, you can reconnect, you can rewire your brain to be able to communicate with different parts of the conscious mind, download data, download memories, and upload memories at the speed of, probably it's faster than the speed of light. We can nowadays create holograms of what people are thinking about at this moment in time. We're getting to that point where if I put a thought in my mind and I can visualize it, we're starting to see patterns that can be digitally reproduced. But the point is, we can never find holograms or locations for memory. So the thought, while I'm thinking it, I'm transferring energy and transforming energy in my own mind, actually using my brain at this moment in time, and that can be captured by a digital device. But when I'm not thinking about it, it's in my memory. It's actually not in here because nothing can find it in there. Nobody can find it. There is no storage place for it. It's somewhere else. It's only when I think it, when I want it, it comes to me. And then when I don't want it, it gets stored in the cloud. And that's again what we're doing with our devices. Less and less devices, computers and everything else, are using hard storage devices, hard drives and everything else locally. Almost everything is starting to go into the cloud. So whatever device you're using anywhere, you can connect to the cloud and everything is out there, all your information, all your data securely kept somewhere where only you can access it. And if somebody else knows how to hack into it, they can also access it as well. This is the same situation here. So the brain and the whole human body and the whole human experience is actually just a manifestation of all this interaction between user using the device within the subconscious mind, encapsulated in the bigger sphere of the conscious mind. And all that is obviously an expanding sphere within the universal mind, which itself is expanding. To where? I don't know. And nobody does. It's expanding to infinity. That's all we can leave it at. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you find this at least interesting or intriguing or worthy of your thought. I'm going to be putting this up on my website as a PDF as well. Actually, this fantastic whiteboard can scan what I just drew and save it on a USB stick or print it out for me, which is fantastic. Ink drawing on a whiteboard becoming ones and zeros, units of light, digital energy stored in a device that I can store somewhere else and share with the world immediately. Amazing, amazing, isn't it? And then people say, we can't be leaders. Well, we're all leading change. We're all using human conscious mind activity to expand our own existence within that, aren't we? So until we meet again, until I see you at the next video actually, which is coming your way very soon, and that becomes, this was quite general. What is, what's our place in the universe? What's the mind? How do we think of things? When we talk about human mind, this is the picture we want to remember. But the next time we're talking about specific points of action, the 40s. Dream, desire, do, and determination. What do I mean by those? How do they represent steps that you could take to increase your leadership, increase your happiness, increase your influence in life? And the video after that will be about character traits of true leaders and how you can start to develop that, or those, because it's not one trait, it is a series of them. I counted 11, and I believe they're like the core ones, plus others that you may want to add to that. And creating better cultures together and how to connect with each other. So until we connect next time, I look forward to seeing you again very soon, and I hope that I've given you enough food for thought, and I'll look forward to seeing your comments. I want to know what people think of this. Am I going overboard? Am I crazy? Am I oversimplifying things? I mean, this is obviously not, we didn't just get there. This has taken us thousands of years, literally, to get to this point, and this is not where we're ending up. This is just part of our journey. We're going much further than that. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate your interaction. I appreciate your love and your feedback. Even negative feedback is just as important, because it's all feedback loops that help me do better, serve better, and until I see you next time, always look better, feel better, and be better. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. I feel the leader in me. It's coming through me. It's growing in me. It's showing. Something big happening, it's perfect timing. It's my true calling. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. I'm unstoppable, exceptional, incredible. My dream is coming true in my life. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. This is my life. This is my time. I believe in me. I believe in my dream. The alarm of life goes on, and I'm ready to take it on. Nothing to stop